And like I had a coffee. I left it in there. I didn't want to walk around with hot coffee in the middle of US 1. Like it was bad. No, you have to understand. I was
Did you have your hazard lights on at least?
I couldn't turn on the hazard. The battery died.
Oh, they were.
I guarantee you someone saw me and they didn't help.
No.
I guarantee you. Welcome back to The Business of Becoming. I'm your host, Steffany, and it's the holiday season. So we're going to talk about my favorite holiday, which is Thanksgiving, but we're going to talk about gratitude in the mess because life is messy and it's crazy. And then towards the end of the year, you get like all emotional because you're like, I don't know, thinking about everything that's happened this year, and it feels messy. You got family group chats going on. You have people texting you what you're bringing, what are you doing, and it's crazy, but it's also just a really good moment to sit back and just be thankful and be grateful. So we're going to talk about how to kind of take a step back and just realize the small things, the big things, the little wins, the big wins, and what you've learned even in the losses this year. So why does gratitude hit different in chaos? I think that when everything is smooth in life and everything's going as planned, it's super easy to be grateful. It's super easy to say, wow, God is great. This is amazing. My life is beautiful. And then you have Mary Poppins, and then you have like birds chirping, and everything's amazing. But then when life is chaotic, as it usually is for a single mom, it's really hard to just be grateful. It's really easy to go back into bitterness, and it's really, really easy to just be ungrateful and be bitter and be sad and just like carry this luggage and this burden. So I think there's so many key points, especially this year in my life, that has helped me learn to be grateful in chaotic moments. Like one, for example, is leaning on friends that I didn't even know I needed that much. You know, having some family members step up and really, really just like check in on me, or just a simple text. I got close to people this year that I would have never put it on my like bingo card. And it just makes me so grateful, even though life is so crazy. You know, I really feel like I can have a reality show. Those little things I think have really taught me the importance of just taking a step back and being grateful that even in messy moments, even in chaotic moments, like people still care, people are still willing to be there. And it allows me not to fall back into just a moment of grief or a moment of sadness, and just help me trench my way out of it in the best way possible with joy at the same time, even though it's crazy. As a kid, I loved Christmas because, you know, you get gifts and all that stuff. But as I grew up and became an adult and started having to buy presents for people, I was like, scratch that. Christmas ain't it. Like, mm-mm. And Thanksgiving just really started to become my favorite holiday because it had nothing to do with being so commercialized, even though like Black Friday is right after. But Thanksgiving was all about family, was about having great food. I love turkey. I make one every year as an adult, very domesticated over here. And it's about family. It's about just being present. It's about being grateful, telling people that you love them, telling people that maybe you haven't seen quite as often, but you get to see them during these holidays. And it's always just been my favorite time, right? And especially this year, I know for many people that I've talked to, it's been a tough year. I know a lot of friends of mine, financially, business, and even just emotionally, it's been a weird year. And my biggest thing that I've learned when the year starts coming to an end is that you start trying to either one, plan for the next year, or you start kind of downplaying this year, and people are like, oh, 2025 was whack, or that next year has to be better. Like it can't be as bad as this year. And that's chaotic. That's not good. That's not healthy. I really just encourage you to do what I'm trying to do, because there's things that have been very, very heavy this year that life just threw cards at me that I was not prepared for. But just being grateful and thankful that, number one, we have health. Number two, we're able to be around our loved ones and have loved ones. This year, I just am grateful, and I'm changing my perspective, and I'm encouraging you guys all to change your perspectives, to just be like, damn, you know what? I made it through this year. I might be a little broken. The wheels might be coming off a bit, but I made it and I'm here. And I've got another chance to make things better. I've got another chance to build relationships with people or to like fix relationships with maybe like family members or loved ones that, you guys had a fallout or something. Like, life is really short to have too much hate in your heart. Life is really short to just live in this chaotic, messy moment and not try to pull yourself out of it, because you're not going to avoid pain. You're not going to avoid trauma. You're not going to avoid things going wrong. That's life, baby. It ain't going to happen. But you definitely can change your reaction towards it. You can change the way that your perspective, and try to strive to be a better human being. And that's what Thanksgiving is for me, especially this year, without a doubt. Like, I made it. That's what I'm victorious. Like, this year was but you know what? Like, I'm here, I'm standing, I'm strong, my kids are good, and I'm grateful for that. Gratitude in the messy middle, that's what we're talking about, right? And this year, or just in this moment, there's been so many unexpected blessings that have happened. Like I mentioned, getting close to people that I didn't expect to, having people just come into my life that have made, such a big impact on me and my family has been really cool and has been something that I'm really grateful for. But here's a really funny unexpected blessing that happened to me come Saturday. So if you haven't been in Miami, US 1 is this ginormous long street, and it's one of the main roads that we have, but it is constantly busy. I mean, there is people there day in and day out. Like, it is crazy. I'm there driving, and again, I'm on the phone. I didn't get the answer that I was expecting. I was really bummed out, and I was just already like coming in hot. I was going to go home, and out of nowhere, I'm pulling up to a stoplight, and my car just like glitches out. And I'm like, what the hell's going on? I'm on drive. I have both hands on the steering wheel. And my car just goes, goodbye. And just dies. Like, it was just like, you're too much right now. And I was like, oh my God, I'm at a stop. There's 1,000 cars around me, and no one in Miami is taking care of this princess here. They are trying to run me off the road. They're beeping and beeping, and I'm just like, and my phone's like at 3%, and I can't even charge it because my car's dead, and I'm just going insane. And all I'm doing is sitting in traffic, and I'm holding my phone that's on its last life, and I'm just like, who do I call? What do I do? And why was this an unexpected blessing? One, my kids were not in the car, thank God. Two, after like 10 minutes, because I didn't want to get off the car because I was embarrassed, and I was just like, oh my God, someone's going to see me walking across the road. Just like, mind you, I didn't look cute either. I'm there like sweatpants and sneakers that probably just didn't match the vibe. And it starts getting hot in the car. So I get out, whatever, and I walk maybe like a block, and there's this mechanic shop. And the guy comes and he helps me and, changes my battery. And what do I mean by an unexpected blessing? That day I was able to spend time with my mom, because on my 3%, that was who I called. I was like, Mom, help me. Yeah, I had to, bro. I ain't got no chance. Like, as A1 sauce right there. I had a friend of mine there that came and helped me out too, and I got my tires changed. I got a brand new battery. My car was aligned. Like, I ended up having one of the best days on Saturday, because I was just able to really not think about everything that was going on and just be present and just be like, you know what? Like, I get to hang out and be with my mom. And I know it's not like the biggest thing or for many people, but like, I don't get that much one-on-one time. And it was incredible to be able to do that. And it was an unexpected blessing for me. For people who are my faith listeners, there's a verse that I go to automatically when life is just very overwhelming. This verse has kind of helped me carry a lot of seasons in my life, especially this year. I'm going to read it because I know I'm going to chop it up and I might say it wrong. But I'm going to read it anyway. So it's Philippians 4:7, and it says, And the peace of God, which surpasses all understanding, will guard your hearts and your minds. A lot of us, especially me growing up, I would always just pray and say, the peace that surpasses all understanding, like, help me, God, and help me, have that peace. But the best part for me after that verse is, will guard your hearts and your minds, because we all know that life is not perfect, and chaos just like slams you and can hurt like hell, when you get news that you were expecting or were not expecting, or you get thrown in these situations that you can't control. And I'm a control freak. And that verse has carried me a lot, because I do not understand a lot of things that are going on in my life right now. I don't understand. But the only thing I know, that if I ask God for that peace is what's going to make sure that my heart and my mind is at rest, and allows me to remember that I don't have to carry all of this alone, and that I have the greatest tool, which is to just lean and rest on God and say, you take this because it's really heavy right now, and I'm just going to be here and trust you. And trust you. That's it. Because there's nothing else I can really do. You guys all know that I've been going through a divorce this year, and I did not expect that. I mean, I was a lifer, so basically it means like that was for life. Marriage was for life. It wasn't, something that I was ever going to do again. It was one and done for me. That unexpected, moment where I was not a wife anymore, it makes you feel like crap. Because you're just like, I believed in all of this, and now what do I believe in? And this year, I'm just so grateful that God has been able to restore my faith in believing that something is out there better for me, and that my kids will find someone that will love them and would care for them. I'm letting God rewrite a new book, because it's not even a chapter. Close that book. Putting it in the library, we're stuffing it, and I'm becoming somebody completely new and healthier, happier, stronger, not just like physically, because I've been going to the gym, but even emotionally. And I just do believe that if you're in this season where maybe the holidays kind of make you feel really lonely, and maybe you're a single mom or a single dad, or you just got out of a like really long-term relationship, just ask God for that, the peace that surpasses all understanding, to guard your heart and your mind, because you are important to somebody. And if you don't feel like you are important to anybody right now, you're definitely important to God, for sure. And you're worth being loved. You're worth being taken care of. You're worth it. So just trust God. Speak that word over your life. I think it's something that's helped me and has definitely made me become an entirely new person, and someone that's definitely much happier than I was. Gratitude in the messy middle. I mean, this year is coming to an end, and you don't have to be perfect, and you don't have to have it all together, and you don't have to end this year like with everything just aligned and sharpened or whatever. But one thing I will tell you is, I'm a big believer that you don't get things you don't believe in for yourself. So if you don't believe that something in your life can be better or can change, it's very rare is it going to happen. I know a lot of people talk about manifesting and just like, just thinking about it over and over and over again, and it's just going to happen. Maybe that's for you, but for me, I've got to write things that I know I want and just believe it, and just say, this is going to happen for me. I'm going to find out what I want, how I want it. I'm going to write it down, and I'm going to work towards, I'm going to plan for it, but I'm also going to trust God. And I'm going to believe that if that door opens, then I'm going to run head on for it. So again, that could be in anything, even if it's something small, guys, like just believe that you're going to be happy again. Just that one thing, believing that you're going to be happy again. If you don't believe it, then it's not going to happen. It's not, because someone can't just come and bring you happiness. Because if you give someone that power to bring you happiness, the moment they're gone, they're taking that with them. And that has to come from you. So a big believer, even in small things, that if you don't believe it for yourself, it ain't going to happen. In this moment, in this messy moment that you might have in your life, because maybe you're not, maybe you're just like, my life is perfect. Then awesome for you. Congratulations. But if you're like most of us on the struggle bus, all I can just say is just take a moment to pause and look for the good, because that's what gratitude is taking a pause and looking for the good things that have happened or the things that you've learned from bad situations. I just encourage you guys to just be grateful for one thing and write it down, say it out loud, and try to challenge yourself. Try to challenge your team. Maybe you're leading a team. Maybe you manage a team. Try to challenge them to be grateful for something. Start maybe your Monday meeting or whatever meeting that you have with that. Given that we're in the spirit of Thanksgiving, challenge yourself to be able to do that with those that you work with. And I guarantee you that you'll, number one, get to know your people better. And number two, you will also be able to become a little bit more vulnerable with them and create a connection in this times of like holidays that, it gets kind of crazy at work, and people want to be anywhere else other than at work. Maybe those things can kind of help them feel better being there, right? Working with you or for you or whatever the case may be. So there you guys have it. Happy Thanksgiving from myself, from my team, from Frankie, who's always here. Happy Thanksgiving to you guys. If you want to ask me what I'm grateful for, you didn't ask me, but I'm gonna tell you anyways. I'm genuinely thankful for you guys becoming with me, for listening to me, and for letting me grow in front of you guys. I'm genuinely grateful for that. And happy Thanksgiving for myself, from the Business of Becoming cast. Well, there's no cast, it's just me. But in other words, happy Thanksgiving, man. Go eat some turkey. Go make some side dishes if you don't know how to make a turkey. If you want my turkey recipe, I can give it to you. It was a absolute hit for the last 3 years. And we did a fake Thanksgiving on Sunday for my grandmother and for some of the family that won't be here. And let me tell you, none was left. I mean, to the bones they used for soup the next day. I have a couple secrets in there, so if you want to know, DM me, and I might give it to you. If you give me, like, what you're grateful for. All right, so anyways, don't forget to like and subscribe. Have a happy Thanksgiving. Be with your loved ones, get some rest, and be grateful. I'll see you guys on the next one.